We start in Arizona's competitive First Congressional District and a hard-fought Republican primary. The district covers parts of Phoenix, plus Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, and Fountain Hills. The primary candidates are former NFL kicker and broadcaster Jay Feely, former state representative Joseph Chaplik, and John Trobo, a former tech executive. Jay Feely joins us now to talk about his campaign and social media attacks he's faced very recently. Welcome to Square Off, sir.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to see you. You seem to enjoy a rich, fulfilling life. Broadcaster, former Cardinals place kicker, you do humanitarian work. Why do you want to spend the next two years of your life in Congress, a body with a 10% approval rating?
Yeah, I ask myself that same question often. I think at its core, it's about trying to effectuate change. And that's what my wife and I have always committed ourselves to. We want to make our communities better. We want to utilize the blessings that God has given us to help others. And I see that as a natural progression to getting into politics and want to do that on a national level. And I think we need more people in office who aren't going there to enrich themselves. We have all these people on both sides of the political aisle who go there and stay for 20, 30 years and grow their net worth. And I want to be one of those people who goes in there and fights to create a better opportunity for our kids and our grandkids.
The first district is one of the wealthiest in Arizona, has some unique needs, unique businesses. What do you think the district needs most from its member of Congress?
They need somebody who's transparent. They need somebody who cares about everybody in the district, who wants to create an economy that works for everybody, that's going to continue to drive jobs here, that cares about the safety of every member of that district. And I think, here in Arizona, we care about election integrity as well. We want to make sure that we have an election that at the end of the day, we all trust, and the people that were voted in by the people of that district, we can trust those elections. And those are the things that have resonated with me as I've gone around and talked to everybody in the district and had a lot of fun meeting everybody. Those are the three themes that keep coming up, and getting rid of waste and fraud as well.
And I should point out, the district is new to you. You live in the 5th.
That's right.
And you moved up to the 1st after Donald Trump gave you a nudge.
Yeah, we moved here in 2010 to play for the Cardinals and moved into Gilbert and have been there for 16 years. And that's where I was running originally. And, when the president asks you and says, hey, we really need you in this district, Mr. Trobo and Chaplik were both running, and he said, they're not good enough. We need a better candidate. And then the speaker calls you and asks you as well. I said, if it's best for the party, I certainly will do that. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to make sure we keep this a Republican seat.
Did the president literally say they're not good enough?
No, that was the message that I got from everybody, that this seat is such an important swing seat. And they looked at who was in the field, and I was okay. If I wasn't going to be in politics, that's fine. My wife and I were like, great, we tried, and we're not going to continue to do it. But when the president wants you to do it, and they say we need you, and he's been asking me. Our relationship goes back to before he got into politics, when I played for the Jets, and I did events for them, and we've been friends for the last 15 years and played golf a lot together. And so it's something he and I had talked about for a few years running, and I felt like because we were empty nesters, it was the right time to go and to serve.
So now you're in politics, and that brings us to the news of the week, a social media post by one of your rivals. You mentioned former state representative Joseph Chaplik. Let's put it up on the screen. Here's what he said. I've made life better for every citizen in CD1, serving you for 6 years in the State House. Jay Feely has only missed field goals to the left and imported Haitians.
Well, I did miss some to the right as well when I was playing. I thought it was very insensitive. I thought it was derogatory. And my wife and I are very proud of the work that we've done here in Arizona as well as around the world. And, we wanted to take our kids into third world countries to show them, one, how grateful they should be to live in this country, and then two, to have a heart for service. We started going down after the earthquake in Haiti and rebuilding homes and churches and schools. And we decided that, one of the men that we met, the young man who was 18 at the time, who was our translator, to get him an education visa, to bring him here legally, to pay for him to go to Grand Canyon University, and to give him the American dream. And I think that should be celebrated, not be derogatory about it. And he is exactly what this country was built on. Somebody who came here, who didn't rely on welfare, who worked really hard, who got a job, who got married, who bought a house. Like when I met him, he was homeless in Haiti because of the earthquake. And when we stood on his driveway, when he bought a house in Queen Creek, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life to see, all I did was give him opportunity. He took advantage of it and took advantage of the American dream. And I thought it was really disrespectful for someone to be derogatory about that.
And you called it racist.
Well, I thought it was because, you're saying I imported Haitians. No, I gave somebody an opportunity to realize the American dream. And it's not surprising. One thing I've learned is that, Joe Chaplik will lie about me. He's sent out ads with my wife's picture in them, attack ads. So I'm learning about politics, but we've been committed to staying above that. We're not going to do that. I don't think that that's what the people of Arizona want to see.
He is not backing down. You may have seen his follow-up tweet. This tweet had nothing to do with your 2 family members. You mentioned one.
Well, we brought his brother here later as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're not members of the family.
We consider him family.
Right.
That's right. We didn't legally
Extended
adopt him,
family.
but I don't treat him much different than I do my son, who's here with me now. Yeah.
This tweet had nothing to do, Chaplik said, with your 2 family members and everything to do with your history of bringing large numbers of Haitian immigrants to NGOs in an attempt to get amnesty here.
So, I mean, that's just him deflecting. And all we've done is try to bring one family. You know, when you go and you see real poverty and you see it firsthand and you work and you try to create opportunity for them there in that country, you know you can't fix all the problems. And so our answer was, well, we can help this one family. And, you know, we were able to bring 2 of the young men. They still have another brother there and all their sisters and the siblings that are there. And it's awful. Like the girls, his sisters, have to avoid being raped on a daily basis. And, you know, his brother got shot. And so they were in the program to try to come legally, not illegally. And those are the people that he was referring to yet again.
Now, there's also a political dimension to this. It involves, the Trump administration has petitioned the Supreme Court to end temporary protected status for Haitians in the U.S. That decision is pending. Last month, Democrats in the House, plus a handful of Republicans, voted to extend TPS for 3 years. If you were in the House right now, would you have voted to extend TPS?
No, I wouldn't. And I come from a place where I have a heart for these people, so I understand. I've seen it firsthand. But the system was corrupted because the Biden administration let 10 to 20 million illegals come across the border. They allowed them a new asylum process where all you had to do was come across and say, I'm claiming asylum, and then you would be released into the country. They got rid of the Remain in Mexico program. And then in the TPS program, they allowed hundreds of thousands to come through without being vetted. And so the Trump administration now has to take action to correct the mistakes from the previous administration. I think that's what you're seeing, and that's why, you know, they're trying to end this flood of people coming across who are then going on to welfare. I mean, you look at what's going on in Minnesota with the Somalis. 10 years after they've gotten here, 80% are still on welfare. That system is not sustainable, and that's not the right immigration system that we should have, even coming from somebody who, you know, says you can be ardently against illegal immigration while still loving immigrants.
How do you explain this to your extended family members?
Oh, we have great conversations about it. I mean, I really wanted to bring their family and bring them here and give them opportunity. My wife and I bought a house, and we had ready for them. We had it all furnished if they got through the program. But you also have to do its best first for this country. You know, you can't be worried about every country around the world. The church is supposed to go and help, and that's what I was doing. I was going down there with our church, not spending federal dollars, trying to help in a country that desperately needed the help, and I think that's what we're called to do.
So viewers watching might also recall President Trump's comments during the 2024 presidential campaign. You probably do as well. He made comments on repeated false rumors that Haitian immigrants in Ohio were eating pets. Remember that?
I do. And we had interesting conversations with the 2 Haitian men that came. And, you know, when you go down there to Haiti and you spend a lot of time like I have, you understand that when somebody has no food at all, that they're going to find whatever it is, whether it's a dog or a cat, anything in Haiti. I don't want to be derogatory about people. I think that's where President Trump and I differ, is that I think you can articulate your values and your beliefs without being derogatory about others.
He was talking about them eating pets here in Ohio, dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that's going on?
I'm saying that the Haitian men that we brought here and we talked about, they said, yeah, I could see that happening. There's somebody who did that in Haiti and comes here and sees a swan and says, oh, that might make a good meal.
Okay. Did you talk to the president about that after he made those remarks?
No, we've never talked about that. You know, I'm honored to have the endorsement of the president, to be friends with him for a long time. And that doesn't mean you're going to agree with everything that he says and does either.
All right. Got to end it there. Lots more we could talk about.
Thanks for having me.
Jay Feely, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Best
absolutely.
of luck.